I've realized something. James Cook and I have one thing in common.
I like my money. Do. I definitely do.
Yeah, we're starting to heat up. I told you we're seeing the ball well. Now we go.
Life like this sure is sweet, huh?
It definitely is.
Going for back-to-back-to-back winning weeks. Roll the intro. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Uncle Dan's Best Bets here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel, located inside the beautiful Connors and Ferris podcast studio. Shout out to Connors and Ferris, and shout out to you. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate the support as always. And again, we always appreciate the support from the Bob Johnson Auto Group. They got their logo right there. Appreciate them as always. If you're buying, leasing, trading, want to get a new car, anything like that, be sure to go to Bob Johnson. Tell them that Uncle Dan sent you. Appreciate their support. They've been the OG sponsor of Uncle Dan's Best Bets. We work with Daryl out in Leroy. So if you're in the greater Rochester, Western New York area, be sure to go to Bob Johnson Auto Group. If you need anything, buying, leasing, trading in, selling your car, anything like that, be sure to check out Bob Johnson. Also, shout out. I know I give some shout outs before a bunch. Ian and Basil are my friends that follow along. They text me pics and all of that stuff. Appreciate it. But I have seen it in the comments before. So I do want to shout out Alex Langley, William, Jesse McAllen, Thomas, Grayson, Eric, Emi, and Trevor. All those guys, I see all the comments and I really appreciate it. And I'm even more appreciative when we start to win, because then I feel like we're all doing something together. So I really appreciate that aspect of what we have kind of built, because I said it back in week 3 that we were starting to see the board and starting to see the ball a little bit better. Had a winning week in week 4. It was a good week. It was a good week in week 5, or we're going to have a good week in week 5, because week 4, 5-2. It was great. Okay. Started to see it. I said I had a 6-pack of plays here. I had a late addition on Twitter just before the game. Thing about the Saints running a lot of zone. We bet Khalil Shakir over 33.5 receiving yards. It didn't matter. He hit it on one play in the first quarter, so that was great. Awesome hitting the Bills first quarter, -3.5. All of those things. So a good week for 5-2, our biggest winning week of the season so far. That gets us to just one game under 500. Rough start, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. 16-17 right now in the season, back-to-back winning weeks. We're seeing the ball well. Now, there are some plays, as you know, we don't want to rest on our laurels. Okay, we got to move on. Okay, it doesn't matter what you've done for us or done for me or did. Grammar's hard. It's what have you done for me lately? We're looking at the future. So I got a 6-pack of plays. We're now dealing with some buys. Some teams that we've been liking to bet or bet against are on buys. So it's another smaller card. There could be additions. We've talked about this before. Follow me on X, on Twitter, social media, because that's where I added the Khalil Shakir play. So we may be adding some plays as well. I have leans. I kind of like the Bucks getting points at Seattle. That's a lean. I'm not going to take it because everybody on the Bucks is injured. There are a couple of other leans that I have, but I just kind of want to see how this shakes out. I'm recording this on Thursday afternoon. But I do have 6 plays that I really like. Probably could have had more, but restraint. We're not just going to start firing from the hip now that we had a winning week. So a little bit of restraint here as we get a 6-pack of plays. Let's keep it rolling. First off, I like the Cowboys -2.5 at the Jets. By the way, that was really awesome. If you follow along on the YouTube channel, Mike Giardi, good friend of the pod, frenemies in the best way, to hit that over on Monday night. That felt good. Bills 8.5-point favorites. I thought that was high.
Yeah,
I thought 6.5. I would have thought 6.5. Yeah, 8.5 was a lot.
That does feel. I'll be curious to see how that moves during the course of the week. Yeah. See what happens with Uncle Dan's bets.
Yes. Hey, 4-2 with the Dolphins Jets over going on tonight.
What's the over under on the Jets Dolphins?
44.5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They're the two worst defenses.
Yeah, but Justin Fields and Tua aren't very good either.
Points. Tons of points.
Keep
I
them
don't
away
know,
from.
man.
Yeah, we'll
I feel
see.
bad. I don't think you're going to be in a bad mood tomorrow.
A few moments later.
Fields launching to the end zone again. Jump ball. Garrett Wilson. Touchdown.
Got him!
I think you're going to be in a bad mood tomorrow.
Really?
We'll timestamp this. This is going to get tweeted out one way or another tomorrow. That felt good. But I thought the Jets were fine. They do have things that they can clean up. 3 turnovers, like 11 penalties. But this play is more about a Cowboys play. Even without CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, he may be ass most of the time. But you know when he's not ass? Is when he's playing bad teams. Dak Prescott in his career is 64% against the spread when he's playing teams under 500. He is 32, 18, and 2 against the spread in his career versus teams under 500. The Jets, yep, confirmed. They are 0-4 in the season. They're playing really well. Like the Cowboys offense is humming, and Dak is playing at a really high level. Jets defense is bad. Maybe they get some things figured out on offense, but I like the Cowboys laying the small number on the road. Dak is like 5-1 in his career at MetLife Stadium, so it's not like this is some house of horrors. I like the Cowboys -2.5 at the Jets. This was a play I originally scratched off, and I went back and looked more. I like this play a lot. I like the Broncos-Eagles over 43.5 points. 43.5, 44 has kind of been the number that I've been like picking on and finding. I think there are some easy overs there, and I think we've done pretty well on them. But here's why. So Denver, I like Denver. Was high on them earlier on in the year. They laid a couple of eggs for us against good teams, and now they're coming off this Bengals win. But I think that there's something to find in between those numbers. The Broncos lead the league in sacks, quarterback pressures, all this stuff, yards allowed per play, like really good defense. We knew that. That's nothing new. But what's interesting is when you kind of look into the numbers a little bit. So Denver against the Titans and the Bengals have allowed a combined 15 points. They're coming off a game where they only allowed 3. But against the Colts and the Chargers, they allowed a combined 54 points. Those are competent offenses. The Titans aren't a competent offense. Neither are the Bengals without Joe Burrow. And Philly has scored 33 and 31 points the last 2 weeks against the Rams and Bucks, who are both really good defenses. I know they had a bad second half. They haven't played a full half of football, and they're still pumping out 30 points a game. And their defense is not getting pressure. It's kind of weird. They're still a good secondary and all those kind of things. But I like both offenses to score enough points. Like I like the Broncos matchup against this Eagles defense. And then I just don't think the Broncos defense is as good as what they have shown because they have kind of flinched in 2 games against competent offenses. Eagles are allowing 22 points per game. And like I said, against good teams, the Broncos are allowing over 25 points a game. So I like the Broncos Eagles over 43.5. I think there's this thought that this is going to be some defensive battle. Bo Nix played well last week. The Bengals defense is bad. I get that, but I can see this game being 25-20, and that cashes our ticket easy. So those are the 2 plays so far to start. Don't think, just throw. Nuke Lelouch. Okay, remember? Lions -10.5 at the Bengals. Not afraid to lay a big number. Bengals are on quit watch. They're a bad team. They're an average team with Joe Burrow, who's really good. Don't listen to what Mike Catalana tells you. They're good. But they're on quit watch. Without Joe Burrow, their offensive line stinks, and their defense is their defense. So I'm not afraid to lay this big number. This is a big one. 10.5 points for the Lions, but the Lions stats are crazy. Since 2021, Detroit is 50, 21, and 1 against the spread. Like, they're so good against the spread. Jared Goff, not afraid to lay the big number either. When he's been favored by 10 points or more, he's 9-4 in his career, 3-0 in his career with the Lions as a 10-point plus favorite. So don't be afraid. Bengals are bad, and they're on a short week. The Lions defense is awesome. I don't see, like the Bengals now are having questions about Jake Browning, coaching staff, all of these things. The Lions defense is playing at a really high clip. Like they're now like borderline top 5 defense. I just don't see how the Bengals are going to do anything offensively in this game. We could win this 14-3. Like that's where I see this game being. Yeah, that's an 11-point win. That would cash the ticket. But obviously I think the Lions are going to put up a ton of points. So I feel really confident about laying the big number in that one. So I said I had some other leans in games I may add later, but then I got 3 plays for the Bills Sunday night game against the Patriots. I will start by taking the over. I think there's going to be a ton of points. The over right now on DraftKings is 49.5 points. I like the over a lot. We're going to do our live show podcast later on Thursday. Our podcast will be out everywhere on Friday morning. I have this as like a 33-27 kind of game. Bills defense still worries me. I think a lot of you as Bills fans kind of watch it through your fingers, like when the defense is on the field, but this offense is so good. So I think there's going to be a ton of points in this game. Drake May playing well. Josh Allen, we know, home game, all of this stuff. I just think there's a ton of points. Bills big favorites, 8.5. I thought it'd be like 6.5. So I'm going to stay away from the spread, but I like the over in this game quite a bit. And then I also like the Bills team total over 29.5. We'll just keep going to the well. Okay. The Bills, here's a crazy stats for you on the card, right? The Bills on a 14-game regular season home winning streak. Over that span, they're averaging 33.4 points per game. And on top of that, they've scored 30-plus points in 12 of those games. They're an offensive juggernaut at home. Weather's not going to be a factor by any means. I think there's going to be buzz in the air. The Patriots defense is not that good that I think that they're going to be some stalwarts. I think that the Bills, because they just scored 30 at home in 12 out of their last 14 regular season home games, we're going to run it again. So that's not thinking too much. I think there's a ton of points in this game. Can't stress that enough. And then also, here's the flyer here. Drake May is playing really well. How about Drake May over his prop, 27.5 rushing yards? Drake May is playing really well. He's athletic, all these kind of things. The game's starting to slow down for him. The Bills haven't been able to get a pass rush, and they haven't been good at containing mobile quarterbacks either. So obviously Lamar ran for 70, but Justin Fields ran for 49. Tyrod Taylor came in that game, also ran for some yards. And even Spencer Rattler ran for 49. Drake May in their 2 close games has ran for over 30 yards. It was against the Steelers and against the Dolphins. Both of those games, he ran for over 30 yards. I think he's going to have to move his legs around a little bit. I think the atmosphere will speed him up. I think he'll escape the pocket a few times early, but I think they're going to want to get him out of, we saw what Spencer Rattler did. Play action, move the pocket. I think Vrabel's going to take that similar playbook and put that in this game against the Bills. I think Drake May moves around a little bit. Bills defense really hasn't shown that they can contain mobile quarterbacks. So I don't think it's a stretch to think Drake May runs for over 27.5 rushing yards. So there's the card for our NBA jams. We're heating up. We need to be on fire. To get that, we need to hit 4 out of these 6 plays as it stands right now. Cowboys -2.5, Broncos, Eagles over 43.5, Lions -10.5, Patriots, Bills over 49.5, Bills team total over 29 in the hook, and Drake May over 27.5 rushing yards. We're seeing the ball well. Pretty confident in these 6 picks. Maybe that's what we'll just do. We'll just do nice, cold, nice, compact 6-pack. And we may add later. There are some Kincaid stats that I'm looking at, some Shakir. Patriots got 2 pretty good corners now, Carlton Davis and Christian Gonzalez, so I'm a little bit worried there. Good running defense, but they haven't really faced any good rushing guys. So we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Could be picks added. But those are the 6 plays. 16-17 on the season. Looking for the 3rd straight winning week. Appreciate it as always. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below. Again, Alex Langley, appreciate you. William, appreciate you. Jesse McMillan, all these people. Thomas, Ian Basil, Grayson, Eric Emy, and Trevor, appreciate it as always. Drop in your favorite bets for the week. Appreciate it as always. Shout out again, as always, to Bob Johnson Auto Group, proud sponsor of Uncle Dan's Best Bets. And shout out to you. Appreciate you guys, as always, supporting the channel. Best of luck to your bets this weekend. Let's get on fire. We'll catch you next time here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Let's beat the odds together as I break down the NFL betting lines, who will cover and who is poised for an upset.
Uncle Dan's Best Bets on Buffalo Plus. New each Saturday on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Sponsored by the Bob Johnson Auto Group.